Every spring the wasps come back. Same eaves, same corner of your porch, same spot under the deck where you got stung last August. And every year people do the same thing. They buy a can of spray from the hardware store, they hit the nest at dusk, half the wasps survive and rebuild. And 3 weeks later, the problem is back. What pest control companies sell you is a reaction. What they never teach you is a system. Today, we are going over a 4-step system that eliminates the wasps you have right now, kills the colonies you cannot even see yet, and prevents new ones from ever establishing on your property again. This is the full picture, and none of it costs more than a few dollars to execute. Before we go through the 4 steps, one thing needs to be said clearly because it is the reason most people fail with wasp control, even when they are trying hard. Wasps are a colony organism. The queen is the engine of the entire nest. The workers you see flying around your property are foragers, scouts, and defenders, but killing them does not end the colony. You can spray 100 wasps at the entrance of a nest and be back to the same problem in 4 days because the queen is untouched and still producing. Any wasp elimination strategy that targets only the visible workers and not the colony itself is just buying you a temporary pause. What you need is a method that reaches the queen and the brood deep inside the nest, where no spray can physically penetrate. That is step 1. The first step is a bait system using apple juice and boric acid. This is the cornerstone of the entire approach, and the part that most people have never heard of, because it is slow and invisible, and it does not feel like doing something. But it is the most effective thing on this list. Mix 2 cups of apple juice with 2 teaspoons of pure boric acid powder. Stir until the boric acid is fully dissolved in the juice. Pour a small amount of this mixture into empty soda cans. Not enough to fill the can or to drown an insect. You want just enough liquid to coat the inside of the can and pool at the bottom, roughly ½ an inch. Place a short broken stick inside each can, leaning at an angle to act as a ramp. Then place these cans around the perimeter of your property, near the areas where you see wasp activity, spaced 15 to 20 feet apart. Here's why this works so precisely. Wasps and yellow jackets are intensely attracted to sugar and protein. Apple juice delivers both, but honeybees, which many people worry about harming, are not attracted to random soda cans or open liquid containers. They forage on flowers and are not interested in the setup. The bait is selectively attractive to the pest you are targeting. When a forager wasp finds the bait, it drinks some and then carries the mixture back to the nest to share with the colony, including the larvae and the queen. Boric acid is lethal to insects at very small doses. It disrupts their digestive system and nervous system over 24 to 72 hours. This delayed kill time is not a flaw, it is the feature. The wasp does not die at the bait station. It dies after it has returned to the nest and shared the contaminated food. You are not killing a forager. You are poisoning the colony from the inside. Most people who set the system up report seeing the affected nest go quiet within 3 to 5 days as the population collapses from within. Replenish the bait cans every 3 to 4 days and keep them active for 2 to 3 weeks. The second step is for active nests you can see and reach, and it requires nothing more than water and dish soap. Mix a generous squirt of dish soap, the original blue, Dawn formula is the most widely referenced for this, into a standard spray bottle filled with water. Shake to mix. Approach the nest at dusk or before dawn, when wasps are sluggish and most of the colony is inside. Spray the nest directly and hold the spray. Keep spraying. The mechanism here is simple and merciless. Soap breaks the surface tension of water and simultaneously penetrates the waxy outer coating of the wasp's exoskeleton. With that coating breached, the water floods the wasp's breathing apparatus. They cannot function, they cannot fly, and they die within seconds of contact. Wasps sprayed directly with this solution drop almost immediately. You will see results as fast as any commercial product at a fraction of the cost, with no synthetic chemical residue left on surfaces around your home. One critical safety note. Never use water-based sprays of any kind near electrical fixtures, outlets, light switches, junction boxes, or breaker panels. Water conducts electricity, and the risk of electrocution is real and serious. If the nest is near any electrical component, Step 2 does not apply to that situation. That is what Step 3 is for. If you are finding these tricks useful and you want one delivered to you every week, subscribe to this channel right now and tap the bell. This is what we do here. We bring back the practical knowledge that used to get passed between neighbors and is now nearly impossible to find in one place. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. The third step is for wasp nests located near or attached to electrical components. For nests built around porch light fixtures, under electrical junction boxes, near breaker panels, or anywhere that a water-based spray would create a hazard, the product to use is PT Wasp Freeze. This is a professional grade aerosol that is non-conductive up to 47,000 volts, which means it can be safely sprayed near live electrical components without risk of electrocution. It works on contact, freezing wasps almost instantly, and it can be applied from up to 15 feet away, which keeps you at a safe distance while the spray reaches the nest. This is not a homemade solution, but it is the only responsible recommendation for electrical proximity situations, and it is available online and at professional pest supply stores. The fourth step is the one that separates people who solve their wasp problem permanently from people who deal with it again every single year. This step is about prevention, and it starts with understanding something that almost nobody knows. When wasps abandon or are eliminated from a nest, the nest does not become neutral ground. Wasps release pheromones into the wood, the paper material of the nest itself, and the surrounding structure. These chemical signals persist for months, sometimes through the entire winter. In early spring, when new queens emerge from hibernation looking for nesting sites, they are drawn to those pheromone signals. The old nest location reads to them as a pre-approved, proven site. That is why you get wasps in the same spot every single year. You are not dealing with a coincidence. You are dealing with a chemical invitation that you did not know existed. The solution is Delta Dust. Delta Dust is a waterproof insecticidal dust containing deltamethrin, a synthetic pyrethroid. It is applied with a bulb duster or a cobweb duster into eaves, crevices, the joints of rafters, around light fixtures, and anywhere wasps have previously nested or are likely to explore. It is waterproof, which means rain does not wash it away, and it remains active for up to 8 months outdoors. Any wasp that lands on a treated surface picks up the dust on its body and carries it back to the nest, where it spreads through the colony. Applied in early spring before the first scouts appear, Delta Dust stops new colonies from establishing before they ever get started. One treatment per year, in the right locations, and the cycle ends. Let us put the full system together so the sequence is clear. In late winter or very early spring before any wasp activity begins, apply Delta Dust to all previous nesting sites, eaves, soffits, roof joints, porch ceilings, and any structural crevice where wasps have built before. This is your prevention layer. At the first sign of spring wasp activity, set your apple juice and boric acid bait stations around the property perimeter. Leave them active for 2 to 3 weeks, refreshing the bait every few days. This addresses the foraging population and any emerging colonies. If you spot an active visible nest during the season, treat it with the soap and water spray at dusk for accessible nests, or PT Wasp freeze for anything near electrical components. Remove eliminated nests after they go quiet by knocking them down with a long stick or broom handle while wearing long sleeves and eye protection. Bag and dispose of the nest material, then reapply Delta Dust to that location so the pheromone signal is covered before the next season. Run this system once and you will understand why pest control companies do not teach it. A single service call for wasp elimination costs between $100 and $300 and does nothing about next year. The complete materials for this 4-step system, boric acid, Delta Dust, and a spray bottle cost under $20 total and cover multiple seasons. 4 steps, a few dollars, and no more yearly wasp problem. The system works because it targets the colony, not just the workers. The next video is already up. Go watch it now.